Hello, hello, hello. This is Atticus Indy. I just got home from a motorcycle ride up to the Sapa Mountains. So yeah, way out there. It's like 32 kilometers. There's the cool helmet. So yeah, I was freaking gunning it. I almost got ran over by three buses. So as I was, we'd go around a corner. I'd be deep into the lane, and there'd be a bus right into my lane trying to pass somebody else, and I literally missed one by an inch. So yeah, the going up the mountain's not so bad. You know, you kind of predict and compensate for people being in your lanes, but going down when you have that momentum, you try hitting on your brakes, you're gonna slide. If you're already in the lane, there's so many factors that could go wrong. So, but anyways, that's not the reason I'm making this message. I'm making this message as a Father's Day video. So, yeah, I just want to kind of talk about my father a little bit. Let me take off some of this gear here. My dad, here, see if I can sit down here. Can you see me? My dad, yeah, I mean, what can you say about the man? He is a war hero. He is a general, or not a general, was a colonel in the army. He is a great father. He's a leader, both when it comes to the family and when it comes to just, whoever he works or serves with. My father worked his way up, for anybody who's curious, from a young lad all the way up the United States Army. He had dreams of being a cook. I once learned that he wanted to be a chef, which I thought was really cool since he is a really great cook. But yeah, he as far back as I can remember, my dad has always been in the Army. I try to look back at some of my older memories, and it's always been the Army, 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 Army. And yeah, I can remember back when he was a captain rank. It's like I think '03, maybe in the Army. I remember vaguely. So he was with the 14th Engineering Battalion. So it was a little red castle. And as a kid, I used to go to his work, right? And they had this castle in the front. And yeah, I'd go out there and I would play on this castle, and it was so cool, you know. And my dad, everybody called him Kenny. He's very popular. Everybody liked him and stuff. And yeah, so throughout my whole life, I watched my dad ascend through the ranks. Ascend through accomplishment after accomplishment. As a kid, he would be gone a lot on a lot of deployments. Where he went exactly, I really don't know. I know he went to Honduras because he cut off the head of a snake with a machete. I remember that story to this day. Um, Besides that, though, he would be gone for years at a time. Well, not years at a time, but I remember like 9-month deployments, year deployments, or whatever. But I just cannot, for the life of me, recall where it is that he went. But I remember, it'd be me and my mother and my brothers, and we'd always get so excited, and my dad was finally coming back. Pops is coming back, and yeah, Dad is a great man, one of the most intelligent men that I've ever known. He's also, but that's also kind of, no offense, Dad. You're watching this because I'm making this video for you, but obviously it's also your kind of your downside too. When you're as operating on such a high level frequency as you, it's hard for you to understand when people cannot. Which I get it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have very much tolerance for incompetence either, but my level of incompetence, you know what I mean? So I get it when you operate, when just make a conscious effort to run your life a certain way. Well, you expect others to have that same dedication, motivation, education, or to be, or at least just, try, which I've learned a lot through you throughout the years, is that just try, put an effort in. But yeah, so my dad, one of the smartest men I know, and I'm not just saying that because he's my dad, like literally proven, war college, prestigious war college, master's degree, this degree, that degree. I mean, he's I don't know if he's published anything. I know he's doing engineering stuff, probably he has classified stuff, probably. Who knows? I don't want to say all his business, but I'm just saying, my dad is, he was that guy who was always putting the toys together at Christmas. You know, and he's the one who, when there's a problem, the car breaks down, or you know the plumbing goes, or there's no insulation, or if you just have any question in life, you call Dad. Dad knows how to solve it. Dad, I'm lost in Hanoi. I don't know what to do. You know, boom, Dad will go to the embassy. You know, Dad, you know, I'm stranded on the side of I-65. Well, did you check to see if there was, you know, the chain? Is it broken? Maybe do, you know, like, it's like this endless bottomless pit of resource and knowledge my father has, which I do actually. I know, Dad, you probably don't see it, but there's a reason I don't have any friends. It's a reason I spend most of my time alone, because I have that same kind of mindset as you, except for I'm kind of held back by a few other things. I have the ability to learn, and I know a lot, like a lot. Like if you and I were to debate, you know, I could probably hold my own on some things. If we were to talk broadly on just broad knowledge, you'd be proud of what the kind of things I know. Like I spend all my time just learning, to a point where I'm kind of hyper focused. There's a condition for that, which as a kid, if you remember, but yeah. So I get that from you. You know, that inquisitive nature, that inquisitive spirit of the thrill of learning, trying to understand. Except for me, the secret is it has to be something I'm passionate about. Whereas you, all right, learn advanced calculus, boom, no problem, you'll do it. For me, no, I have no interest in calculus, therefore I can't learn it. Well, I shouldn't say I can't, but I struggle. But learn, you know, the event horizon of a black hole, or, you know, the density, atmospheric density, can't speak, pressure of Venus, and or you know, how nuclear fusion works in the sun, stuff like that. You know, things that I love. Yeah, I mean, I have like just random bits of information and knowledge, and I like to say that I'm a jack of all trades when it comes to like knowledge. Like I pride myself on knowledge because I get a lot of that from my dad. Dad's an expert. He's a sharp knife. I'm more of a blunt tool. So I know broadly. He knows. He's like a laser guided missile. You know, whereas I feel like I can more broadly reach out. But I do hyper focus on things. But a lot of those things though aren't really relevant to anything. I mean, for example, it might be a book collection, for example, which I'm like this, for example. To this is all one series, right? To most people, they're just books, but to me, I mean, that's a whole world that I've spent countless hours in my life in, you know, like living vicariously, escaping. I've done it since I was a kid. I've been able to live in two different worlds: the world inside my mind, my fantasy, like, you know, my imagination, and endure this world, which freaking sucks usually. but but yeah, I just wanted to kind of to say thank you though, Dad, because I get that from you. Another good thing about my dad is that good heart, good heart. Stern, yes. Tough, yes. Have we had our arguments? God knows we have. But every single time, it always ended with a hug, and I love you, son. And you can just tell. You just tell, you know. Dad, I always know, you know. Didn't matter. I remember. You remember the day, or the day I was flying here to Vietnam. Kind of how things went because of my haircut. Yeah, there was a lot of, you know, factors that I hadn't slept. I was running behind schedule. I was nervous. There was just so many things, right? And then, you know, you and I had a disagreement, and but you know, I mean, like, even at those like bad moments, how did it end? It ended with a hug and a "I love you, son." That's a good memory. So, anyways, yeah, my dad, he doesn't matter how bad things get, it always ends with a hug and I love you, son. So that's a good quality in my dad. That's a good quality. That's something that I'm really happy for. Um, I remember one of my not favorite memories, but one of the memories that really sticks out to me was when I've talked about it before, but was that last look of dad leaving the airport. And here I am, right? In the last 5 years of my life, I've destroyed myself, right? My health, I'm out of shape. I had gained weight. I had lost hope, lost ability to feel. Here I was going off to Vietnam, and fear. As they took my luggage, and the fear hits my heart. And there's Dad. This is what you wanted. This is your dream. He says, gives me a hug, and I remember him turning around right at the door because he was parked right outside the airport, so he couldn't stay very long. And he turns around and gives me that look. I'll never forget that look, smile. And yeah, I did it. Fast forward, we're 1 year, 6 months. So, yeah. But yeah, Dad, I've always said Dad's my hero, and that is true. He always has been a hero to me. I just because how can a man, oops, got my phone. How can a man just accomplish so much? Have such a fulfilling life. Well, I mean, I know how. I mean, you just, I a lot of who I am, right, is inspired because of my dad. I mean, one of my favorite pictures in the whole world is this right here. One of the few times I saw my dad cry, right? Boom. So it was me. This was 2002. There's Dad. You can see the red in his eyes. He'd been crying. Yeah, that's when I graduated boot camp. I saluted him. And he gave me a hug. But yeah, I'm a man. Who has seen the world, always knows what's to do. And just yeah, like Dad, you have grandma's heart more than you realize. I mean, yeah, you can yell. Yeah, you have that military mindset of scream, and then ask questions later. Like freaking rip somebody a new butthole before asking questions. I get it. I mean, I served too, so I understand, especially if you've been there for so long. Like that's just, and being a leader, like it's probably hard to separate that from family life and work life. So I get it. And and over the years, like I've both, you and Mom, each have left a part of yourself onto me, like a part, and Grandma and Grandpa, of course. But specifically since Father's Day, we're talking about you. Um, a lot of who I am, is because of you, and all that pressure and all that yelling and all that expectations that you put on me as the first son. I'm glad you did. I'm so glad you did. Yeah, might have been some hard moments, might have been some tough moments, and yeah, I'm not 100%. I know I'm weird and I'm different. But I like it really taught me. It really did teach me how to endure, and it really did teach me uh, some life lessons that really I wouldn't have survived so long in Vietnam if not for you. So, uh, but anyways, for this Father's Day, I kind of just wanted to share. I don't know, just throw up some random memories. Sometimes that I really loved spending with you, and surprisingly, throughout since I've gotten older, we haven't really had that many times, and that's partially my fault. I kind of retracted from the family, but I'm a one-on-one kind of person. I like to spend time with family, one person at a time. I'm not into the group thing. But remember that time we went out with our motorcycles and we went out to your new house that you're building? And yeah, that was so fun just riding with you. We were riding through, was that Nashville or Brown County? I don't know what it was. You and your nice, your good old bike and my CBR. And there's been a few other times that you and I have rode together. And just riding is my number one favorite thing to do. So to do it with you, like I taught myself how to ride. You know what I mean? Like what I mean? And not only that, like I'm good. Like I'm not just good. Like I win probably 90% of in any race. If you knew back, in my 20s when I was doing street racing and stuff like that, like I really am pretty talented at it. Like I could probably, if I'd went a different path in life, could have probably went into some kind of semi-pro racing with motorcycles. Like I just understand them. I just feel it. I don't know. It's like an extension of my body. When to let go of the throttle, how far to lean, when to brake. Like, well, specifically with Hondas, but I'm sure you can learn it with anything. But anyways, that's one memory that I wanted to share that I really enjoyed with you is just our times riding together. Um, those there's just something really cool about it, just riding with your old man on two motorcycles. And I know, I remember as a kid that you used to take us on rides. Remember on the back of your yellow Honda Shadow? God, I'd be so excited. There'd be a few times you would drop me off to school on the back of your bike, and I would be the cool kid whose dad rode up on the motorcycle, and I jumped off. Like that was always so cool. So yeah, yeah. Another memory is working up on the roof with you at the old house. Like you and I'd be up there putting up those black shingles or Christmas lights every year. I remember the one year you fell. I was so worried about you, but I remember always being up on the roof with you. We'd always be putting up Christmas lights, just hanging out with Dad, or building the barn, or any kind of project. I'd always love that feeling of just hanging out with you, just working on something. Remember when we worked on the Mustang? Uh, you know, taught me how to change the brakes, the exhaust, body kit, intake, just all these different things, or even that, just throughout the years when we worked on the old Chevy S10, my first vehicle that I got, or whenever you would be just doing any random project, for example, that time I came up to the new house and we just sat out and you're in the garage. There was no power. It was really cold. Do you remember? This was like right before I left for Vietnam. That was great, great. Um, Another time, rewind, some other memories. I didn't write no script for this. I'm just kind of just talking as if this is like, a conversation. I'm sure if I sat around, I could like list like 1,000, but I'm just thinking of ones that really just like kind of stand out to me. But another time was going hunting with you, and chasing the deer, shooting it. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember that, but I like boom, 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 and I was like chasing after. We shot at the deer, right? And to this day, I have still yet to catch a deer. Whereas you and I'm sure everybody else in the family has gotten one, but me, no. But do you remember that time I went all Rambo on it? So I saw it, I shot, I started chasing after it, boom, I unloaded the whole shotgun on it and still didn't get it. But um, going hunting with you, I remember going early in the mornings, we would freeze our asses off, right? So for any of you who don't know, when you're a hunter, you go off it's like November, right? So it's really cold, December, November, depending on if you're doing shotgun or bow or a musket or whatever. But anyways, it's cold as hell. And you have to go there while it's still dark to get set up. So you march through the woods and then you just sit there. And the hunting, to the layman, hunting would probably seem really boring because you just sit there. You're just sitting there in the woods with a gun in your hand. Some people sit in tree stands. Other people just sit on the ground like I did. And yeah, you listen. You hope a deer comes, and every little crack of the woods, crack, crack, crack. You think you hear it, could that be the deer? And you get this thing called buck fever when you finally do see a deer. Your hands will start to shake. your heart starts beating. It's yeah. Ask any hunter. It's called buck fever. Yeah. But I remember like Dad would have the walkie talkies. He'd be like, "There's one coming. There's one coming." And I remember when I saw it, yeah, and my hand started shaking, and but yeah, that's another cool memory. Uh, but yeah, I really hope before I die, I get to at least say that I got one deer. Like I'm a good marksman. Like I got the expert qualification on my military pin. I had the marksman. Like I'm a really damn good shot. I once shot the cigarette butt off a cigarette from like 20 yards of a BB gun. I was so good at a shot. So yeah, I'm pretty decent. Um, uh, but yeah. There was another memory about guns. What was it? Oh yeah, Christmas. Obviously, when you got me my first 20 gauge, I'll never forget that. That was so. I can't wait to get that gun back from you. Actually, I'm glad that you still have it. I know. You got it in the safe, but eventually, I hope to get an AR. But what's some other just random, just cool things about you, Dad? I mean, God, I remember. I remember your friends, Rick, Bob Hillsman. I remember how you and your friends would interact, and how as a kid watching you guys, your beer drinking, grilling, laughing, just the brotherhood. Like I always envied that. I never had that. Or how I had Jonathan. That was my only friend my whole life. And then Ben is my only friend really left when we're talking like friends. I've never had groups of friends. I take that back. There was one in Florida. I had Stu and Mike and Ian. So I guess there was a point in my life where I had more. But just growing up watching you guys do the, hanging out with your buddies. And another great memory, of course, will always be Foxfire with you. Foxfire, Army Camp. God, Army Camp was so great. Green team, orange team, red team, or working with Ruben Marias Tanner, old Tanner Homestead, Tanner. The ghost stories and all that stuff. And yeah, like you remember Mika, right? Mookie? Yeah. So while you were all getting drunk when all the kids were sleeping, all those junior counselors like us, what do you think we were all doing? That's how I got my first kiss was at Army Camp with Mika. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, just you remember when you arranged it for me to ride in a tank? Hold on. I saw a cool motorcycle. Yeah, I actually rode in a tank with you. I don't know if you remember that. It wasn't really a tank; it was an armored personnel vehicle. But yeah, I remember going on the track. You arranged that. One of my other favorite memories, and I actually talked about this recently here in Vietnam, was the day you flew the F-16 Fighting Falcon. How badass did you look coming off of that F-16? Full gear, flight suit. You know what I mean? Like, wow, what a life. That's like my dream is to fly an F-18, F-14 Tomcat, F-15 Eagle, the 16. Obviously, it's because of you, but or the Raptor, the F-22, of course. Who doesn't want that one? But if I could pick one jet to fly, it'd probably be the F-18 or the F-14. F-14 Tomcat, just because of talk to me, Goose. But the F-18 just looks so badass. You know what I mean? It's a classic. The 16's cool, but it only has the single. But anyways. But the F-22, if it's what is that? The vertical thrust. Its ability to like really do like pull 90-degree angles and high G maneuvers. It's like it's full. I learned about the F-22. Its capabilities are like pure classified. They don't even teach the pilots like how the true capabilities of which the F-22 can actually run. It's that advanced. How good of a plane it is, how it stays off radar, and in every simulation it's been put against, the F-33, F-35, the MiGs, all these new jets, the fifth gen jets, F-22 has beat them all. So it is a great piece of machinery, expensive, but yeah, but it is. I don't ever really foresee them like phasing out the F-18 or the F-16 and stuff like that. The things are just, or of course, let's not forget the old the A-10 Warhog, right? Things from the Vietnam era, like that. I mean, you have weapon platforms are just tried and proven. 50 cals from World War II we're pretty much still using, but anyways, if you can notice, like a lot of the things that like I love and cherish, a lot of my cool memories are always like military stuff with you, or guns, or. But yeah, that's what dads are. Dads is a cool, having a military dad. That was another thing too. When you bring your parents to work day, man, did I have it made. Having when your dad's either a cop or in the army, you're a rock star for that one day. So yeah, of course I was, a dork, a nerd, bully. No one ever talked to me. But for that one day when it was talk about your dad or bring your parents to work day, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, my dad's in the army. Boom, those other kids didn't have shit to say then. You know what I mean? Like that's like yeah, that's my old man. The pride I've had in you. I've been proud of you my whole life, Dad. Like you've man, you somehow did your dream, but found a way to be a good father. And how? I mean, and is anybody perfect? No. Were mistakes made? Everybody's in, yes. You know what I mean? But like, man, like you did it, and it's just good, A lot of things change as you get older. As you get older, I look back at you and Mom and how young you were and what you were trying to do for me. And you were kids, raising a kid. What did you know? And yet you still tried, both of you, So, but yeah, I don't know. You've done a great job. You have a great job, and none of your boys, none of your sons have failed. You should take pride in that. You got two of us, one in the military, one who's been in the military, who's now, living his dream overseas, which was like, my dream, You got Jacob, he has a family, he's happy, he's great, he has a house, he has what he wanted, Caleb and Mason, they're coming up, doing good, as far as I know, nobody's hitting the bottle, no alcohol, no crime, no gang problems. Like you guys did good. You guys did good, and all of us owe a debt of gratitude, to you when it comes to us brothers and sons. So, on my part, being the first son, I always feel like I have a bigger connection to you more than any of the other ones, just because I spent the most time with you. I knew you when you were at your youngest. You and I have history. We'll, I guess that's the advantage of being the firstborn. I'm afforded that same luxury of grandma and grandpa as well. But yeah, like you're a good man. You really are. You're the best man. Selfish, not selfish, selfish. Like you don't give out handouts, you don't give freebies, Dad. But I know, if one of us, was gonna, really lose it all, you'd be on a plane first thing to try to save our lives, But I don't know. We're at 30 minutes. I don't even know if you'll watch this whole video. yeah. So I just yeah, let me give you a view. Let me see what like why I sit here and just stare out the window. It's laundry day if you can't tell, right? So yeah, I just got back from the mountains, but I had my laundry drying out, and yeah, this is just, sitting in my apartment here, thinking of you and stuff. But yeah, happy Father's Day. You literally are. I've always said the best father. Like you you are a good father because you had a good father too, Grandpa. So I've always wondered who's the best father, you or Grandpa? Because you wouldn't be who you are without Grandma and Grandpa. So but I couldn't have asked for a better dad. Even your flaws made me, even your flaws served to teach a lesson. And your flaws, as in, like I said, you know, crush somebody's spirit and then ask questions later. You tear them down and then build them back up later. Like maybe it's not the most effective way of communicating, but I know it comes from a place of love, and that's why I've never held it against you. Um, and I hope one day you will see me as I'll never be your intellectual equal. But maybe you'll finally see though what I am capable of though when it comes to intellect. Like the only difference really between I feel like when it comes to you and I is like I don't need ego. I hide a lot of what I know. You you flaunt it, which is you should. There's nothing wrong with that. Me, I I kind of have to. There's a lot. There's a I have a tendency to always alienate myself. I never fit in. I'm always apart from everybody. So therefore, I always have enemies. So it's always better just for people to think you're not paying attention as much as you are. But I am. Every single thing. And when it comes to you, I've learned everything you've taught me. I've tried to remember. Paid attention. I really have. Life lessons, strategies, the way you do things, the way you see the world, trial and error, just all that stuff. Like, you're right. I mean, it's proven, I get it. So, but yeah, you're the best dad. You're an amazing father. And, I hope this video means something to you. I wish I could be in America right now to give you a hug. Who knows how many years we'll have left together. But I don't know, Pops. I love you. Happy Father's Day. And you're still my hero. So I love you. Pops, happy Father's Day.